thing I want to do is I want to bring you back to a concept that we were talking about the last few episodes, okay? And I'm going to give you a specific example. I'll give you the formula, give you an example, and then I'll show you how that leads to a price increase. So we've been talking about this idea that Book to Blast allows us to make the most amount of money with the least amount of effort. And so you don't go home at night exhausted with multiple personality syndrome. Angela, don't hope it. Okay, come on in, Ange. So the formula is we're going to take a weekly goal or a number that you want to hit in service dollars for the week, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to take the other number is a big ticket. And by a big ticket, a triple-digit ticket, a ticket that goes over $100. So the last couple episodes, we were talking about double booking, like colors and cuts. So I want to make sure that whatever ticket you put in there, it's well over $100. And basically, what we do, Corey, come on in, all ears, teach me, I'm teaching you, girl, is we take the weekly number you want to shoot for, we divide it by that ticket, and how much time it's taken you to generate that service. I'm going to give you an example, so stay with me. And that's going to give you what we call the total number of watts, which is windows of time in any given week that you would need to have with that triple-digit ticket in order to hit the goal. So I'm going to give you an example, and we're just in this example only. So let's say that you're saying, I want to get to $1,500 a week in service. I've been hanging around $1,100, $1,200. I want to get to $1,500. Summer says, yeah, baby, I know. Me too. And the ticket example I'm going to give you is $150. Now, what that $150 ticket is made of is we've got a hair color in there with 2 cuts. We've double booked 2 cuts inside of a cut and color. So, for example, this $150 ticket is made up of a client that comes in that's getting a $60 color, there's my 60 right there, and a $45 haircut. I'm just making these numbers up as an example. And then we're gonna drop another $45 haircut while that color is processing. So here's what it looks. I'm gonna book myself out 45 minutes to do the color application. In the next 45 minutes, that application is going to be processing. And while that application is processing, I'm going to drop a $45 haircut. So I'm doing the haircut while my color is processing, and I'm just using $45 as an example of what you charge for a woman's haircut. When that haircut is done, I'm going to go and get that processed. I'm going to cut that client's here for 45. So inside of a 45, and 45 minute window, 45 for the application, 45 minutes for the process and the haircut while we were processing, and then 45 minutes to do that first haircut. When I add all of that time up and that money, that was a $150 ticket. 45 is 90, plus 60 is $150. I am preaching, Lisa. And then, so that's $150, so you got to stay with me. And we took 2 hours and 15 minutes. So when I divide that $150 ticket, that window of time, by 1,500, I, in essence, listen closely because I'm working fast tonight, I need 10 of those windows of time. 10 times 150 is $1,500. If I can get 10 of these windows, I'm going to do $1,500 in that week. Anything else I do is icing on the cake. So if I took these 10 windows at 2 hours and 15 minutes per window, 45, if you add it up, that's 2 hours and 15 minutes. It should take me no longer than 22 and a half hours of booking time to hit the 1,500. So this is really the model, the new book print, the plan. And now we're going to talk about, so how can I raise my prices when I get there? How does raising the price work like this? Well, I'm going to suggest that when you get to 10 of those windows of time a week, right? And if you really do the arithmetic, that means you're doing, 10 colors, 20 cuts in a week. You multiply that times 4 weeks, and for the month, you got 40 colors going, right? I beg your pardon. Yeah, 10, 20, 30, 40 colors, yes! 40 colors, and you have, 80 haircuts then for the week. If that makes sense, I'll go and do the math later. But we want to raise the price because all of those windows of time are either repeat clients or referral clients. So they're request clients. So your demand is up. If you're working like 30, 32 hours a week and it's taking you, what did I say, 22, 23 hours, you're booked up at least 75% of the time. Now, if you're a summit salon, I don't want you to be confused by this because if you look at the first and second level, this is just another way of hitting those numbers. So I don't want you getting all bunged up about it. I'm talking to the multitudes that aren't on the summit yet, which, by the way, you need to get on the summit because they've got a whole chart around this. I'm going to suggest that you're busy enough and your demand rate is high enough that if you want to, if you have you've got the readiness, if you've got the willingness, you're willing to disobey the fear or the guilt, you've got the willingness to raise the price. You've got the readiness because you're busy enough. Now the willingness is disobey the fear. That's called courage to raise the price. So basically, what's my guidelines for pricing? Well, I go, gee, what if you went from a $45 haircut to a $50 haircut? And what if you went from a $60 color to a $65 color? So that lift is about 10%. Now this is what it's going to mean. So you got to follow me out. You just went from a $150 watt, that $150 window where you were double booking a haircut with a color and cut, that went from being worth $150, Wendy, Nikki, I love you too, to $165. If you follow the arithmetic, you just lifted up the value of that window by $15. That window that was worth $150 when you were charging $45 for the cut, and $60 for the color, you went up 5 to $50, and you went up 5 on the color, and all of a sudden now that same window is worth $165. Big deal. It is a big deal because here's why. Yet that your week now on the same amount of clients and services went from a $1,500 week to a $1,650 week. And when I'm coaching people, I always like to look at it for the year. How much more did you take in for the year because this was your book print and you had the courage to raise your price? You just increased your year 75. Oh, I'm not done yet. And $1,500 in gratuities on this because that's about 20% of $7,500. So when you add these two numbers together, you're in around a $9,000 more money for the year from this model only. If you're an owner, you just put up a sign that says, as of today, my new prices are. You do that tomorrow. It's clean, it's simple. Don't write an essay on why you're raising your prices. You're raising your prices because you've earned the right. If you're a stylist, this can come off as a celebration. In a lot of the summit salons, it's the salon is putting up a balloon bouquet saying that we want to congratulate you for your excellence in service standards, and then your new prices are, and that's it. You should anticipate that you'll lose 10% of your clients. They'll trickle down to people at lower prices. Now, if you've got 10 of these windows of time a week that you're booking, if you really track this, and you're going to lose 10%, 10% of 10 is 1. You're going to lose one of these windows, and you go, well, what am I going to do to make it up? Well, you hang out with guys like me because we're going to show you how to use best social media practices to make it happen.